Hey everybody, Dirty Dan here at Greasy Boy Customs, and thank you for joining me today. We have a special little treat. We're working on my car for once. We never work on my car, but she's been neglected. We're going to be doing some upgrades to the air system, maybe some downgrades. I don't know how this is going to go. So the main purpose of this video is I want to remove those manual valves and install a budget-friendly manifold block setup with electronic valves. Now in the past, all the stuff was always expensive. We all know that there are cheaper versions made outside the country that you can get for an affordable price. These things are available on places like Amazon and eBay. So I found this manifold block setup on Amazon. I'll provide a link up here and down below in the description so you can go check it out. I don't know if it's going to be worth the crap. It might be awesome. It might be complete junk, but I'm going to do an initial video and show you about installing it. And then in a couple months from now, maybe we'll do a little touch-up video and we'll talk about how it's been holding up. So let's get started. I don't like having all those gauges and valves. It takes up a lot of space. I want a more condensed look. This is a little more condensed. 4 switches, 1 for each bag, 4 bag pressure readings here, as well as 1 master reading, which is your system or your tank pressure, which is great to keep an eye on. You can also see if your tank pressure is dropping. Maybe you have a leak on the supply side. These are nice things to know. This is going to take up a lot less space. Now, as far as what controls it, there are 2 different styles you'll come across. This style, which is a block, this has all of your solenoids built into 1 master block or manifold. You've got sensors on one side that show you each individual line pressure and your supply lines to each of the bags. It also has exhaust ports built onto here. You can install mufflers on here to make it even quieter. We're going to be mounting this one in the trunk. It does also come with your wire leads. These go from the pressure sensors to the gauges. However, when it comes into connecting the back of the switches to the wires on the manifold block, you're not supplied with that wire. You will have to supply that yourself, which is unfortunate, or you have to mount these really close to each other. I don't want to do that. We're going to put it in the trunk. We've got our switch panel wired up. You can see we have white, green, blue, yellow. We paired all the wires up for each individual switch. This wiring doesn't come with the kit. As you can see, the harness is a little long there. It's got all the way to the back of the car. And as you can see here, we've got the switch panel wired up. We paired it up, and then we ran our wire, loomed it all nice and pretty. You can see all the way here at the end. We've got each one labeled for which position it is. That wiring doesn't come in the kit, which I think is kind of stupid. They do have a version of this kit where it has a remote control that's pre-wired like that. You just plug it in, but we didn't do that because we like doing things the hard way. 4 switches, left front, left rear, right rear, and these 2 power switches are not hooked up. Turn it on, it makes an annoying beep. Now it does give you the option here to click this button and change it to bar instead of PSI. And as you can see, it shows your tenths place, and I don't like the fact that it does that. I wish it just showed, in front of the decimal to the left, not to the right of the decimal. But tank pressure and then your 4 corners, pretty good setup. The switches work pretty nice. Everything works good. Now into the trunk. Oh man. So here's where our block is mounted. As you can see, we ran the lines out and then through bulkhead connectors in the floor. I'm not too crazy about these wires on that connector right there. They're kind of cheap, but they work. Also, where the sensors come out of the block over here is sitting below the bottom of this block. So you do have to space the block up about 1/4 inch so everything will clear so you don't pinch your sensor wires. Pros and cons. Let's talk about the cons first. I don't like the quality of wire that comes with the rocker switches on your control panel. We did not use those. We did not use those terminals. We ran our own. Another con is I hate having to make up my own harness to go from the switch panel all the way to the rear. I know they do that because every vehicle is different and where you're going to mount it, and it leaves it up to you. But it still sucks because I had to use a bunch of wire. The block itself seems pretty nice. I do wish that they maybe included like a mounting bracket and maybe some air fittings. Now on the pro side of things, the gauge looks great. The panel's small and compact. The block doesn't take up much room either, and it works just fine. At this price point, under $200, I think it's a pretty solid buy. We are going to continue driving it, and I will keep you updated on my social media pages and maybe a future YouTube video on how everything held up. If you have any questions, let me know. The links for the products are down in the description below. And until next time, happy hot rodding.